John Lennon and Paul McCartney spent years trying to outdo each other. Sometimes the competition was obvious, other times it was hidden beneath the surface of a recording session, a new melody, or a song that suddenly changed the direction of the Beatles. They were rivals, but they were also each other's greatest creative challenge. Whenever Lennon wrote something extraordinary, McCartney had to respond. And whenever McCartney produced a brilliant new song, Lennon was pushed to reach even further. That rivalry helped create some of the greatest music in history. But even Paul McCartney, one of the most successful songwriters of all time, understood that Lennon possessed a quality that was impossible to imitate. Lennon could turn personal memories, confusion, anger, imagination, and even nonsense into songs that felt completely unlike anything else. These 7 masterpieces represent the John Lennon songs that seemed almost untouchable. Number 1. Imagine.
Imagine there's no heaven.
After the Beatles ended, John Lennon no longer had Paul McCartney beside him in the studio, but he still had something that had always defined his songwriting: the ability to turn a simple idea into something much larger. Imagine was built around a deceptively simple concept. Its melody was gentle, its arrangement was restrained, but its message reached far beyond the song itself. Lennon transformed an abstract idea into a piece of music that would become one of the most recognizable songs in the world. That was one of his greatest strengths. He could take a thought that seemed almost impossible to express and turn it into something millions of people could sing. For McCartney, who had spent years competing with Lennon creatively, Imagine represented another side of his former songwriting partner. John no longer needed the Beatles to create something that could define an era. He could do it alone. Number 2. Strawberry Fields Forever.
I'm going to strawberry fields.
Few songs in the history of popular music sound as unmistakably like John Lennon as Strawberry Fields Forever. The song began with a memory of Lennon's childhood, but it quickly became something much stranger and more personal. The mellotron melody created a dreamlike atmosphere. The lyrics blurred memory and imagination, and the final recording sounded unlike almost anything that had come before it. Lennon did not simply write about the past, he transformed the past into a psychological landscape. McCartney understood the importance of the song immediately. Its arrival helped inspire his own response, Penny Lane, creating one of the most famous creative exchanges in Beatles history. The two songs were completely different, yet they represented the extraordinary creative competition between Lennon and McCartney. Strawberry Fields Forever was not simply a great Beatles song, it was a glimpse inside John Lennon's mind. Number 3. A Day in the Life.
I read the news today, oh boy.
A Day in the Life may be the clearest example of what happened when Lennon and McCartney pushed each other to their creative limits. The song combined 2 different ideas, one primarily written by Lennon and another developed by McCartney. On paper, the pieces should not have worked together, but somehow they did. Lennon's sections were mysterious and cinematic. McCartney's middle section suddenly shifted the song into something more ordinary and energetic. Then Lennon's voice returned, leading the track towards one of the most famous endings in music. The result was ambitious, strange, and unforgettable. It was not designed like a conventional pop song. There was no simple verse-chorus formula, no obvious attempt to create a predictable hit. Instead, Lennon and McCartney created something that felt like a miniature piece of modern art. A Day in the Life proved that their rivalry could produce something neither songwriter could have created alone. Number 4. In My Life. John Lennon did not always need experimentation to create a masterpiece. Sometimes a memory was enough. In My Life is one of John Lennon's most emotionally powerful compositions because it looks back at the past without becoming trapped in nostalgia. The song reflects on people and places that once mattered deeply, but there is also a sense that time has changed everything. That emotional complexity gives the song its timeless quality. Paul McCartney played an important role in the song's development, but its emotional identity remains deeply connected to Lennon. There is a quiet honesty in the lyrics that makes the song feel almost like a private confession. It is not loud, it is not theatrical, but decades after it was recorded, In My Life still feels deeply personal. That may be one of the hardest things for any songwriter to achieve. Number 5. Help.
I need somebody help, not just anybody.
By 1965, the Beatles were the biggest band in the world. John Lennon, however, was not always enjoying the experience. Help became one of the clearest examples of Lennon hiding personal truth inside a massive pop hit. On the surface, the song was energetic and instantly memorable, but beneath the bright arrangement was a desperate confession. Lennon later acknowledged that the song expressed how he really felt at the time. The pressure of fame, the loss of privacy, and the extraordinary expectations surrounding the Beatles had begun to weigh heavily on him. That contrast made Help so powerful. Millions of people heard a catchy Beatles single, but Lennon was singing about needing help. Paul McCartney understood that Lennon had a rare ability to transform personal vulnerability into something universal. That was one of the qualities that made Lennon such a formidable songwriter. Number 6. Come Together. Come Together showed Lennon at his most mysterious. The song was built around a groove that seemed almost effortless, but its lyrics were deliberately strange and difficult to pin down. Every line appeared to suggest something, yet nothing was ever completely explained. That ambiguity became part of the song's power. Lennon did not give listeners a straightforward story. Instead, he created a mood, a rhythm, and a collection of unforgettable images. The result was one of the Beatles' most recognizable songs. Come Together also demonstrated something unique about Lennon's songwriting. He could take fragments of language and create something that felt iconic before the listener had even figured out what the words meant. That kind of songwriting instinct is almost impossible to teach. It simply exists, and Lennon had it. Number 7. I Am the Walrus. If Come Together showed Lennon's mysterious side, I Am the Walrus revealed his complete refusal to follow the rules. The song was surreal, chaotic, theatrical, and deliberately confusing. Lennon filled it with strange images, unusual sounds, and lyrics that seemed to exist somewhere between poetry and absurdity. But beneath the madness was a clear artistic purpose. Lennon was challenging the idea that a pop song had to make perfect sense. He understood that music could create a feeling even when the words were impossible to fully explain. I Am the Walrus was not designed to be comfortable, it was designed to be unforgettable. And it was. The song remains one of the clearest examples of Lennon creating something that sounded like no one else. John Lennon and Paul McCartney were often described as rivals, but that description only tells half the story. They were also two musicians who understood exactly how rare the other one was. McCartney could write melodies of extraordinary beauty. Lennon could create songs that seemed to emerge from an entirely different world. Together, they challenged each other for years, and that competition produced some of the greatest music ever recorded. From the dreamlike world of Strawberry Fields Forever to the global message of Imagine, from the raw vulnerability of Help to the surreal madness of I Am the Walrus, these songs reveal the extraordinary range of John Lennon's songwriting. Paul McCartney may have been one of the few songwriters capable of standing beside Lennon as an equal, but Lennon had something that could never be duplicated: a voice, a vision, and a way of writing songs that made even the impossible sound natural. That is why decades later, his greatest masterpieces still feel untouchable.